Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Nick here. I'm in a different position today because I was cutting my toenails. Um, so a few minutes ago, I finished watching Daleks episode 5, the Day of Reckoning. Day of a Reckoning. That's the same title as an episode from Daleks Master Plan. I think episode 2. Um, okay, so Day of Reckoning. Um, this was a very good episode. I thought it was a very good conclusion to the series, as well as a nice tie-in to the rest of the Time Lord Victorious arc, where we'll get onto that later. So basically, what happens in this episode? The Emperor Dalek and the Dalek strategist return to Skaro, but they have a cunning plan to fight off against the mechanoids who are following them, keeping up their promise of coming to destroy the Daleks that they mentioned at the end of the last episode. So they have a Dalek army hidden away on Skaro somewhere that they get to fight the mechanoids. Meanwhile, the strategist Dalek tricks the mechanoids into reopening the portal that he claims he wants the Emperor to be taken back to the entity's universe, but however he nudges it to be to the mechanoids. So, yeah, that's basically the story, and there's some pretty cool fights between the Daleks and mechanoids. Not gonna lie, I would have liked to have seen a bit more, a little bit of different camera angles and a bit more sped up fighting, and make it a little bit more like action packed. But it was still a pretty good fight. The strategist's plan is really great. How he tricks the mechanoids into basically dooming themselves, and they're taken out of the picture, whilst the entity doesn't come back, but it does hint at what's to come that will be taking place in later on in the Time Lord Victorious event, so to speak. So in other mediums, as this is the final episode of the series, it's tying up this part of the story. However, the story will continue in other mediums, in other adventures. So some audio, some books, there's live events, some short stories with the figuring ones. I haven't got the ones that have the Time Lord Victorious exclusive ones, but the figures you see behind me are basically them. There are a couple of ones like those, some Dalek ones like those that are exclusive to the website. And so there's some short stories in those that tie in with the Time Lord Victorious, and then there's a few other stuff as well. So yes, this is the end of the mini-series, the webcast mini-series, but it's tying into other pieces of medium that contribute to Time Lord Victorious. Heck, I think I watched a video by Philip Hawkins, great YouTuber, by the way, discussing the latest revelations of Time Lord Victorious in a recent video that he posted. And he mentioned that I think it was either the 8th Doctor in an audio or the 10th Doctor in a book or audio book, that they visited what would become the Archive of Isolos, which is visited by the Daleks at the start of this series, possibly at an earlier point in time. Also, this is the start of what would be the Time Lord Victorious event. So this is the first or second thing in the timeline, the chronological timeline, that not including when the Doctor visited the Archive of Isolis. Or at least in the events of the main part of the story. This is it. This is the start, or more or less around the time of the start. So this is basically where everything from Time Lord Victorious more or less starts from. So it's kind of setting that up. There are these other creatures that have created the entity that I heard about in Philip Hawkins' video, but I can't really remember them. But I might link his video down below to for you to go and check out. But as for this episode, it was a good, fun episode. It had some decent moments. It wasn't perfect. It was good, but I don't think it was a spectacular episode. I don't think the series has been that spectacular either. I think I got a bit too excited with the first one, and then thinking about it later, it's not that great. It's probably the weakest episode of the series. Episode 3 was also kind of just filler in the gap. 1 was a setup, 3 was a filler. 2 was really good, 4 was really good, 5 was a good conclusion. I was wondering whether I would consider this one my favourite or second favourite. I'm going to have to rewatch this, all 5 episodes again. to decide. But at the moment, I'm kind of leaning for this one going into the third favourite category or second favourite. I don't know whether this one's better than the second one or not. I really liked the second one, but I don't know whether I enjoyed this one as much or more or less. It was a good wrap up. I don't think it was spectacular, but it was a good one. I think my favourite episode is still episode 4. A week later. There's not really much else I can talk about now. Apart from some great performances by Angie Mahindra as the Mechanoid Queen, and another actress as the Scientist Mechanoid, and Nicholas Briggs as the Daleks and the Mechanoid, and some great visuals. Not perfect, but it still looks pretty good. Still a lot better than the first 3 webcasts that were made in the early 2000s. Definitely Comes to Time, Real Time, and Sharda 2003. Those webcasts. Nice pictures, nice images, but nice images do not make a good visual moving animation. Thank goodness Scream the Shark was the first they actually moved. They were more like photo galleries with audio over the top of them, with occasional movement. Okay, I'll give Sharda this. It did have some of the pictures moving, but not like the... it did still look like pictures most of the time. So I'm glad they kind of did actual proper movement when they got to Scream the Shalka. So yeah, these were good animated webcasts. Maybe the CG could have been a little bit better. Maybe the anime camera movements could have been a bit better, but it was still a pretty good series overall. It is definitely worth checking out, especially if you are very interested into Time Lord Victorious. As Samuel Davis mentioned in his video, recent video about Time Lord Victorious. It was Samuel Davis. The event starts and ends when and where you want it. You just dip in anywhere. You don't have to do the entire story. I'm not going to do the entire story, but you can dip in anywhere. You can just read the books. You can just check out the audios. You can just watch this mini series. You can just collect the figures. You can just get the shirts and cups and merchandise and stuff. You can just visit the live shows if you can, or escape rooms if you can. Not everyone's going to get to do those, so it's so the event is whatever you decided. And there's the comics. You can check out the comics if you want. Doctor Magazine and Titan have done some. It's basically whatever you want to check out. And for me, Daleks was one of the things I have checked out, and I thought it was good. It's apparently setting up most of the rest of the event. So we'll see how that happens with future stuff coming along, as well as what's already been released as well. That's my reaction to Daleks. Oh, and one other thing. Although the 8th, 9th, and 10th Doctors were the main Doctors of this series, specifically 8 and 10, with 9 also having a main play as well. But apparently there's actually 7 Doctors in this, according to Philip Hawkins' video. 13, of course, gets a cameo in 1 or 2 of the comics, although the event isn't really tied to what's going on with the current TV series so far. It's that's why they're sticking it to these 3 Doctors instead. 4 is popping up in an audio that leads into one of the escape rooms or live shows. There's also the Curator, I've heard, is also in one of these stories, and recently the 11th Doctor has popped up in a story somewhere. So I will link Philip Hawkins' video down below that you can check it out. Also, you can debate whether the Curator counts as a Doctor or not, but yeah, about 6 or 7 Doctors are in this event, mainly around 8, 9, and 10, specifically 10. 13 gets a cameo in a comic, 11's popping up at some point, 4's getting his own audio, and the Curator at some point as well. So I'll link that video down below. I'll also link Samuel Davis's video, because this event is getting quite a bit of hatred for not really any reason. The event, I can understand if you think it's bad for community consumerism, because there's too much and it's quite pricey and not everyone's going to be able to do everything. But you can do just as the experience for you as an individual is how much you want from it, or how much you can from it. So if you can't watch the live shows, then that's absolutely fine. You can just check out the books or the audios. So yeah, if you are experiencing Time Lord Victorious, however you are, hope you enjoy it. Hope it goes well for you. That's it from me. Thank you for watching this reaction to Daleks, episode 5, Day of Reckoning. I thought the series was pretty good one, but not amazing. I might do a review of it at a later point, maybe the entire series, and it might be on the Universal. We're not sure yet. It was a suggestion by some of the fellow members. Whenever the full review of the series comes, I'll let you know about it, and wherever it's or individual episodes, if we do the individual episode ones. That's it. Like I said, that's it from me. Thank you for watching. I'll let you know about the reviews or review when it comes around, or they come around, depends what happens. And I'll see you guys next time. The next reaction video, unless it's some news video, the next episode reaction should be Revolution of the Daleks. However, at time of recording, Doctor Who Series 8 reviews will be coming soon. I've recorded 8 of them. I've edited 4 of them. So they should be coming up relatively soon. So, yeah, Series 8 reviews will be coming up, and the next proper reaction will be Revolution of the Daleks. Unless there's some news or something coming up, like I did one earlier. Okay, thank you for watching. See you guys next time. Goodbye.